going into Pittsburgh was a special place for me. I love it, and hopefully I get to play there a lot longer. But just it's a special place because of the guys in the locker room, and the traditions, and the people, and the winning, and all of that. Plus, you got Mike Tomlin, who's arguably the best coach of all time, one of the top ones, and just because of who he is and how he motivates us, and even through the storm, I think that we battled, and a lot of that was because of Coach Tomlin and who he is and how he makes us prepare.
All right, looks like Russ has found himself a home in Pittsburgh and wants to stay. But Stephen A., do you think he'll be the quarterback there next season?
I think so, because what direction are you going to go in? I don't think they're ready to go with Justin Fields and give him the nod. Even though he won games, I don't think they were as pleased with him as they were with Russell. I also think that Russell gets a reprieve to some degree because you recognize what a problem George Pickens was. Not to mention the fact that who's your legitimate number 2 if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. So because of the question marks surrounding other people, all right, along with your ability to go out and get somebody better or lack thereof, I think they end up sticking with Russell Wilson because how much is it really going to cost you?
Let's go to the big screen. Cam.
I look good, Stephen. I look good. But I'll say it like this. Man, Russell Wilson is saying and doing everything that he's supposed to say. Of course he wants to stay. Of course he's going to prop up and say there's no other place like Pittsburgh. Man, bro, you got to understand like this, Mike T. You got to understand like this, Pittsburgh. 2 of the 4 game changers in this league are in this division. Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Bengals, Joe Burrow. How do we compete with those guys? Yep. If anything, I'm saying give it to Justin Fields. Build with Justin Fields. He's a young player that you can build with. We've seen what Russell Wilson can do. Now you see what Justin Fields can do also. Build around him, give him the skill set, give him the patience, and allow him to grow up under you guys. Because when it comes to going into any season, number 1, you got to win your division. That's first and foremost. That solidifies your advantages in the postseason. And then number 2, everything else will happen next. Justin Fields is the answer for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Somebody that's not in their building is the answer for me. It's got to be someone different. Because if it was going to be Justin, which I advocated for, then had played him this year and figure out exactly what he is, how to build off of him, all that stuff. They didn't do that, so he's still a giant question mark. Russell played well this year, but you know what you're going to be with Russ. You're going to be 10-7, 9-8. You get knocked out of the playoffs in the first round if you get in. That offense isn't nearly dynamic and explosive enough, and Cam's point within the division is everything. So I think you got to look at, like, Sam Darnold in free agency. I don't know if they can afford him. Is it going to be somebody like Kirk Cousins on a trade? What happens with Stafford? What happens with Stafford?
Why you bring that name up?
Stop, bro.
Dude, you gotta. You're gonna continue to mile in like slightly above average. Trevor Lawrence,
bro. You're saying Kirk Cousins? Okay, this bromance that you got with Trevor Lawrence is needs to be studied. But you think Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, who else you said, Sam Darnold, is better than Justin Fields? Are we serious right now? Man, come on, Danny O.
Cam, you mean to tell me that you think, convicted-wise, that Justin Fields is a better player than Sam Darnold?
Yes.
I wouldn't say Sam Darnold. No, I wouldn't say that, Cam.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that. I would. Not after this season, Cam.
Hold on, stop.
Not after this season.
Whoa. Stop.
Go ahead.
Sam Darnold had the best receiver in the game. Has Justin Fields ever had a receiver like Justin Jefferson?
No.
Listen, Cam, you could sit there and say, like, you think and maybe and whatnot, and I've been a Justin Fields guy. There is not a single human being on the planet that works in the NFL that sits there and says they believe Justin Fields is a better player than Sam Darnold.
I don't think better than Sam Darnold.
I'm talking about skill.
But you know, and it's skill and potential. I would take him ahead of Kirk Cousins. I would take him ahead of Daniel Jones. I definitely would do that. I wouldn't take him ahead of Sam Darnold right now.
Are any of these names major upgrades? Are any of these getting the Steelers over the hump that they can really compete in this division?
If the Steelers got their hands on a guy like Trevor Lawrence, I would feel that way.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cam is not high on Trevor Lawrence. Okay.
No, I'm not. I didn't say that, Molly.
Okay, sorry. I took it out of context.
You got to rebuild his confidence. That's a real thing.
Oh, but this is what I will ask you, Dan.
Yes, sir.
At their best, not their worst, at their best, who are you choosing? Sam Darnold at his best, Justin Fields at his best, who are you choosing?
I think I'd take Sam Darnold after this year. Cam, I would. After this year. Now, Cam, after this year, I would. We watched Sam Darnold for 15 weeks play MVP caliber football. We've never seen that from Justin.
Hold on, Dan.
Now, Justin hasn't been in a great situation.
Hold on, Dan. Here's the question. The market value for Sam Darnold plummeted from $54 million to $40 million.
Yeah.
Are you taking Sam Darnold at 40 or Justin Fields at 30?
Sam Darnold at 40.
No, I'm taking Justin Fields at 30. I'm taking
Stephen
Justin Fields
A.,
at 30.
that is the
I'm taking Justin Fields at $10 million less. I'm taking Justin Fields.
And how much better is
without
Trevor
question.
Lawrence than either of them?
I mean, Trevor Lawrence is more talented than either of them, but you have to rebuild Trevor Lawrence's mindset, his psyche, his confidence.
All he got
You
to
don't
do
think
is
Mike
get around
Tomlin
The
would
play.
do
same
that?
He'll
as
be
you
all
got
right.
to do with Justin Fields. The same you got to do with Justin Fields. Listen, the reality of the situations that quarterbacks have been in can dictate how people look at you. That's not to take away from your talent. When you're asking me these questions, Dan, I'm saying to myself, at their best, I'm going with Justin Fields. He's a true dual threat. He's a real, if you're going off of your division alone, he can attack you like a Lamar Jackson can. So why not give him the resources and the patience to build with him?
Well, I was
I'm
saying
with you
this.
on that, Cam.
Hey,
And that's why I got so mad when they benched him this year. That was part of the
I
reason
wasn't
why.
mad about it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what Russell Wilson did in a Steelers uniform. I wanted to see it, and he was looking pretty damn good until late in the season. Having said that, Cam, let me get back to you with the Justin Fields thing. I don't know the answer to this question. All I know is this. The Steelers had him. They were winning games, and they still said, we think Russell Wilson is better. Tomlin never once committed to Justin Fields being his starting quarterback. Why? You got him there in your locker room. You got him there on your practice field. You're working with them. You've got developmental coaches with them. You got assistant coaches, offensive coordinators with them. Why did you make that decision? I can't ignore that and still sit here and say, Mike Tomlin's a damn good coach.
Right.
He knows what he's doing. And then ignore that.
Yes, I get it, and I understand. And that's a big question, not a small one, a big question, because they've seen it on a day-to-day basis as Russell Wilson was getting healthy to make his season debut. But there's something that I cannot mention the gameplay of Justin Fields. He has something that a lot of game changers have. Not comparing him to the two. He has the common denominator. Okay, you play man-to-man. You have everybody covered. You have this person checked in. He can make a play and affect the defense. So when I'm seeing other quarterbacks around the league, not a lot of quarterbacks have common denominators. You either do it mentally or you do it skillfully, and that's what Justin Fields have the opportunity to do.
Yeah, but what you're saying about Russell Wilson, they still went with Russell Wilson. So what's that going to tell us about Justin Fields?
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay mình lại làm những video tô mổ để gửi tặng tất cả các bạn đây.